Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. I'm just a few minutes late, probably close to 10. Thank you for waiting for me. I'm so sorry. It always seems like just before I'm getting ready to go live that I start, I get a phone call or, something always seems to happen, you know. But anyway, I'm here now. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everybody is doing well on this Friday. Well, it's almost noon here. Probably the 12 o'clock tornado warning siren will be going off probably here in a little bit. But so if you hear anything in the background, that is probably what you're hearing. But anyway, I just wanted to come on, and I have a little bit of time today, and I just wanted to come on and chat with you guys and work on a few things and chat with you guys. I actually really enjoy talking with you guys. I really do enjoy that. Probably just as much as I enjoy working on projects here in my little, I keep calling it a craft room, but I guess it's my little art studio, I guess. And so that's what I'm going to call it. So I'm going to go ahead and say hi to everybody because it looks like there's a few of you here. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Chloe, hello. Hello, Darren. Nice to see you. Let's see. Hello, Phil. Mommy Mars, hello there. Chick, hi. Hi. Hi, everyone. So nice to see you guys. It's really nice to see you guys. So I wanted to come on and talk with you guys while I work on a few things. I'm still working on this shadow box here, you guys. I'm still working on this shadow box. I am not finished with the inside, but I feel like I need to do some things on the outside. And yesterday or the day before, I don't remember now, it came to me that like a few ideas that I had. I want to, and you probably see this right here on the edge, and you're probably wondering, what the hell is that here? What is this right here? And what I decided to do is I'm going to cover the top here with some rocks, with some, I don't know what you want to call these, pebbles, river rocks. There we go again with the pebbles. I must be thinking about my friend Pebbles a lot. Anyway, I have these. I have a bunch. I have 2 bagfuls. And what I'm going to do is I'm planning on covering the top of this. Now, I've not painted this, and I'm not going to care about painting it because of the fact that I'm going to cover this with rocks on the top. I don't know. I may do, I thought about doing the sides too, but probably I'm not going to do that. But I am going to eventually paint the sides and the back. I'm probably not going to worry about the underneath, but maybe I'll go ahead and do that probably last. But I feel like I want to move to the outside of the shadow box while I think about more things I want to do on the inside here, if that makes sense. So one of my ideas is to cover it with these lovely rocks that I have here. And I purchased 2 bags of these rocks. Probably 1 bag may be enough. I don't know. But I went ahead and purchased 2 bags from our local dollar store. And I think these were $1.25 or $1.50 a bag for 28 ounces of these. They're just calling these stones. But I think, like river rocks, or I don't know. They're really nice, actually. They almost feel like they're polished or whatever, but I don't know. I don't think so. but they're just really nice rocks, and I just thought it would look nice. And they're all different shapes, pretty much in the same kind of family of shape. But some of them are longer here. But I thought it would look nice to cover the top of this, even though it's a flat roof, we'll call it. It's not, shaped like this, but I thought it would look nice to cover the top of this. So that was my one idea that I had. Yes, they're pretty rocks. Yeah, I think they're pretty rocks. Did you say Petco? Petco sells these rocks? Yeah, when I lived in the last place that I lived at before I moved here to Kansas, I owned a home in Northern California, and the one side of my house was rocks. They were like a grayish color, and I remember that I don't. Some of them were like pretty in areas that was pretty barren. I guess I don't. I think what happens is because the people, I had a dog there, and the people that lived there prior that owned the home, they had a couple dogs, and that's where they, did their business. And obviously, if you're picking up, you know what, sometimes you may get a few rocks that you're throwing away as well. So I think what happened was over time, the rocks kind of got barren. But yeah, I had to purchase, big bags of very similar looking rocks than these. Huge bag, and they weren't cheap. They were expensive. And I think I picked those up like at, I don't know, Home Depot or Lowe's or one of those kind of a places. But anyway, obviously this is a much smaller project that I'm working on and not putting a bunch of rocks down for a dog. So I believe, like I said, I think these bags that I purchased, and again, I purchased 2 of them, again, from our local, I'll say it, Dollar Tree. I'm not a sponsor or whatever of theirs, but hey, I will be if they want me to be. I do like shopping at Dollar Tree. I think the closest one is about a half hour or so from here. And then after that would be a total of 1 hour from here. But anyway, that is where I purchased 2 bags, and this is what the bag looks like. This is what the bag looks like. So I probably don't need 2 bags, but probably for something else I can use them. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So for fish, I get it. Yeah, I get it. So anyway, what do you guys think of my idea of covering the top of this with stones? And then I will go ahead and tell you what my second idea that came to me. I kind of had talked about it a little bit, that on the side here, and there's 2 sides. One has this cute little, window area right here. And again, it's not been painted on the outside yet, so please don't ignore this stuff. But anyway, I'll be painting the outside, but I'm planning on, and I kind of had mentioned this a little bit, but I'm planning on putting like a picket fence here, like a little picket fence. But my other thought was, how cute would it be to put like some flowers, along the side. And while I was out the other day at a thrift store, I had come across a bag, just a Ziploc bag of some things that somebody had, donated. And one of the things, well, in this particular bag, what I found was, and I believe that that's what these are used for, but I'm not 100% sure. I am not 100% sure, but I think that that's what these are. They're these pieces that look like this. And hold on, there's a message that is popped up on my, okay, sorry. They're pieces that look like this. So, and this is what they look like here. So what does this look like to you? Because to me, what it looks like is it looks like a flower pot. I think these are flower pots. because if you were to glue these two pieces together, it is a flower pot. So I figure some of these could be flat up against something. So flat up against the side of here, glued. It doesn't need to have, the other piece. It could just lay flush up against the side. And then what I will do then is I will put moss, some fake moss in here into this hole. And then after that, just pretend that this pot is painted and glued together and has moss in it, but pretend all that. And let me show you what my idea is. So then inside this flower pot, there will be flowers. There will be flowers like this. Obviously not this many because that's probably too much for this little pot, but you get the idea. You get the idea. So that is my idea, my two ideas that kind of came to me. And it was so funny that I found these what I'm calling pots, because I don't know what else those are. They were just in a little Ziploc bag that somebody had, from their house that they donated. So I thought that was really cool. And what I did was I kind of started putting one together, but I think they need to be held together with hot glue. But anyway, I kind of did one. So kind of put one together. Inside here is some moss, and it's not really holding, so I'm going to need to use my hot glue gun, which I have plugged in, so hopefully it's getting warm. But anyway, that's my idea. So isn't this cute? It's a little flower pot. So it needs to be, I need to finish painting it, of course, and gluing it together, but that's my idea. Hi, Black Eagle. Not as cute as me? Is that what you're talking about, Black Eagle? That's sweet. Yeah, isn't that a great idea, Mommy Mars? Sometimes I surprise myself of my creativity. I want to warn you guys that I'm expecting a phone call. So if my phone call comes in, I may be obviously muting this so that I can take the call. I may even be muting this because I'm kind of in between everything. I'm having like a little snack, if you will. And so I just want to let you know that there will be moments of me muting. So just wanted to let you guys know what was going on, that I am expecting an important phone call, and also there may be some eating going on. This is some leftover Chinese food. So just wanted to let you guys know. So I'm going to mute for a second so that I can take a couple bites, and then we are going to go ahead and get started. So delicious. That's all I needed was, for now, was just a couple bites. I don't know why, but I'm feeling really hungry today. Anyway, I have my glue gun out, and it smells very hot. So I'm happy about that. I was not sure if this plug that I'm using honestly was working, but it seems to be. And I wanted to make sure, and I do. I have plenty of glue sticks. So, because we'll probably need a few. Probably won't need all of those right now, but we'll need a few. You love egg rolls dipped in Dukes. Oh, Phil, you and your mayonnaise. You and your mayonnaise. I always try to be respectful of people who may not enjoy chewing noises, although I would like to think that I am pretty polite and have manners and things like that. When I eat, I don't, smack my lips, and not purposely anyway. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to just be chatting away here. If there's something, again, you guys want to talk about, if there's something you guys are interested in talking about, please let me know. I'm going to move this over here a little bit. I'm still getting the hang of this camera up here that I purchased. And so far, I think I'm really loving it, obviously, because I've been going live a lot. And I love being able to have my own setup here. And I'm looking forward to getting I'm going to call it my craft studio, my art studio, I guess. Art studio. I'm looking forward to getting my art studio looking really nice. This morning, I ordered a 12 by 12 paper rack for my 12 by 12 paper, which I don't use a lot, but I don't want to get rid of it because I do cut it down to fit into my journals that I make, in my cards and stuff. That's why I really prefer to use 8 by 8 paper or 6 by 6 paper. I do prefer smaller paper, but I have a lot of really beautiful 12 by 12 paper, and so I'm going to use it. I have tons of it, and it'll look nicer sitting out, and plus, if I have it out, I will be more apt to use it. If you tuck things away and it's not like in your face, basically, you're probably going to forget about it and not use it. Or at least that's my theory. So this morning, I went ahead and ordered my paper rack. And I'm still contemplating if I am going to keep one of the tables in here and use it as a desk, or order myself a desk. I already picked out, if I do go the route of ordering a desk, I've already picked out the desk that I want. And so that will probably be one of the next things I will order is my desk. And then as these items come in, of course, I will show them to you. And I don't know if I want to stack these rocks on top of each. I don't know here. I don't know if it'll look better. I wonder if it looked better with the rocks on top of each other a little bit. You know what? I think so. I'm sorry. I'm talking to myself. But I'm kind of going back and forth. And if I'm still undecided about the desk, then I think I'll go ahead and move along to the next thing I'm ordering for my room here. So I'm probably going to need a couple cabinets, I guess, for my stuff. Um, right now I'm using like, I don't know what brand these are. They're nice. They're heavy duty. They're like Rubbermaid shelving that you put together. That it's pretty heavy duty, probably meant for like a garage or something like that. But that for right now, that's what I've been using to hold a lot of my craft items on these shelves. And I just want it to be prettier, and more um, functionable, I guess, for me. And so I definitely am looking forward to ordering my desk, probably if I go that route, and then also a couple crafting type cabinets, and then also probably um, cubicle, like the cubicle shelving. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm planning on ordering at least one of those. Um, I haven't decided yet, but it's going to look really nice in here when I'm all finished. Because I also want to be able to hang some stuff on the wall. Like I have um, a, I don't know what you want to call it. I bought and I've had it for a while, and I can show it to you guys sometime, but I don't have it right here with me. I believe it's in the garage. I think I saw it earlier today when I was out there looking for something. And what it is, and some of you may not know what 8-track tapes are, but I think it's an 8-track. No, it's for cassette tapes. I think it's for cassette tapes. I have a cassette tape holder, a wooden cassette tape holder that I painted a while back. And what it is you use it to put your ink pads actually fit beautifully in those slots. So you put it up on, you don't lay it flat, you put it up on its bottom part, or you can hang it on the wall, and it is a holder of your ink pads. Most ink pads will fit beautifully in those slots and holds however many. So I want to be able to either stand that on something so that I can get to all my ink pads, or hang it on the wall. And to be honest with you, I have so many ink pads now that I probably could use a second um, holder and maybe a third. So, and I have gone through all my ink pads and I've gotten rid of a few, but not a lot. But there's some that I just won't get rid of because they're ones that I use. Like I have all the Tim Holtz um, ink pads, and I love his Distress inks. So I have a bunch of those. I also have probably every color of the Stampin' Up um, ink pads. I also have the Close to My Heart ink pads that I love. So I have a lot of ink pads. And I use those with my rubber stamps, which then brings me to my rubber stamp collection. I probably would like to have some sort of shelving for my rubber stamps. I've been looking on Pinterest. You could make with I don't know what you call those wooden, what do you call those wooden things, Phil? Help me out. Wooden, they're not crates, they're wooden, I don't know. A lot of people get rid of them. They're made out of wood. Help me out, please, because I don't know what those are called. But whatever it is, people make holders for rubber stamps. Like they turn it into a shelf. Do I have a cassette player? Are you talking to me? Okay, Phil. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those wooden They're not crates. No, not dowels. It's something big. It's, however big. It's something big made out of wood. Some people get rid of them. Oh, Lord have mercy. Pallet. Thank you. Pallet. Wooden pallets. Hi, Evelyn. Good to see you. Carrie, hello. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Root, Damon. Sorry I didn't say hi to you either. Yes, a pallet. A pallet. So I've been looking, and people make shelves for their rubber stamps with these pallets. So that is an idea. Or some other kind of wooden shelving, I guess, would work as well. And you could buy one, I suppose, to hang up on the wall, or you can make one. But I am probably going to be on the lookout to find at a thrift store at least one more cassette tape holder so that I can make another holder for my ink pads. So far, this is what I have, you guys. I hope it doesn't look silly. Maybe I should have painted the top first. I don't know. And I may go in here very carefully and paint in the areas that I can paint. I don't know. Maybe I should have done that. But I didn't. And now we are 2 rows in, so we are just going to go with it. We are just going to go with it. It's so good seeing you guys here. It really is. It's so good seeing all of you. I really appreciate you guys coming in here and keeping me company and supporting me. I appreciate it. I really do. It's very encouraging. That's why I've been going live a lot, because it's been very encouraging for me to have you all here. I really appreciate it. I was really nervous about, going live, again after so long of really not. And, but all of you have made me feel really good about it. So I really appreciate that. So thank you. I appreciate your friendship, and I appreciate your encouragement. So this morning I got up. Oh, and it looks like we need to put another glue stick in here already. Sometimes I use those really long glue sticks, like they come out to like here. Come out to like here. They oops. Yeah, they come out to like way out. And I don't really like using those sometimes, because I've noticed that sometimes they just kind of get in the way. So I prefer to not use those really big glue sticks, those hot glue sticks that go into here, because I feel like, they kind of get in the way. Thank you so much, Ruth. That's very nice of you to say. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I enjoy having all of you here. I really do. again, you guys keep me company and give me encouragement, and I really appreciate that more than you'll probably ever really know. So thank you, Evelyn. I appreciate you and your friendship too. You've been a very good friend. Am I considering doing a mosaic? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? So, I don't know if this looks silly or not up here or not. But like I said, I'm just going with it. Hopefully this glue is going to hold. So I also worried about that as well. Maybe I should use some better glue sticks. I've used those Gorilla Glue sticks, and to be honest with you, I'm not really that impressed with them. The Gorilla Glue, hot glue, the hot glue sticks for your gun, hot glue guns. And I'm not really impressed with that very much, to be honest with you. I'll just be happy if these don't all come off. I mean, I'm holding it sideways, and they are not coming off. So that's a plus. That is a plus. So since it's being that it's Friday, and so the weekend, obviously, for some people, the weekend starts today, does anybody have any plans? Oh, I started to say that I got up this morning. Well, first of all, I didn't sleep very good again last night. So I tend to get kind of like I feel like my mind I'm tired, but then I start getting my second wind of energy, and I start getting like really, really talkative and talking fast. And so if I get like that, it's probably because I'm really, really tired. I'm really, really tired. But I'm planning on hopefully being able to stay live with you guys all for a little while this afternoon. And but I did manage to sleep for a little bit this morning, and then I got up, and it was before 8, and I went ahead and got my crock pot out, and I am making. Have any of you guys heard of the Mississippi pot roast? I can give you the recipe if you are interested. You can make it like a pot roast with a big roast, or you can make it with almost like stew meat or any kind of cut up meat, or you can buy a roast and cut it up into more like chunks. You can make sandwiches with it, or serve it over noodles or rice, or you could serve it over mashed potatoes. We are planning, our meat is more like in chunks, and we're planning on having ours over mashed potatoes. But I can go ahead and give you the ingredients. So you'll need either a roast of some sort, and it could be whatever you like. My experience has been that a chuck roast works very beautifully in this because of the marbling that it has. And so it comes out really nice and moist. But you need a roast or cut up roast meat. I don't know how else to call it. And roughly I used about 2 pounds, maybe 2.5 pounds. And that's for 3 of us, and they'll be leftovers. So you put your meat into the crock pot, and then you put 1 jar, juice and all, of pepperoncinis. and then one envelope. I don't know what else to call it, but an envelope. One envelope of au jus. So it's the not gravy. It should say au jus, beef au jus. You don't add water or anything. You just put that in dry, right? Just open it up and dump it in. It's a powder. And then one other envelope full of the ranch dressing. So not ranch dressing in a bottle, the powder. It's, you know, that you would mix to make like salad dressing or a ranch dip or something like that. But you're going to use one envelope of that. Nothing added to it, dry. Just dump that in on top of the meat, and then you're going to need one stick of butter, one whole stick of butter. Now you can just throw it in there all willy nilly, or you could chop it up and put it in there. I go either way, where I sometimes just throw the whole thing in there, or I cut it up. Today I cut it up and put it in there. And then you cook it on low for about 8 hours. For about 8 hours on low. Depending on your crock pot, probably too, but about 8 hours. Now I have one of those fancy crock pots, so it'll, turn off on its own or go to warm or whatever. And so that's what we're having today. And it should be really good. I'm already starting to smell it, and it's been in there since about 7:45 this morning. And it will be really, really good. And like I said, we're having that over mashed potatoes and also, or with mashed potatoes, but you can put it on the potatoes. It tastes really good. And then I'm also making peas. And just so you guys know, I'm not a huge ranch eater. So when I originally made this recipe, I thought, oh gosh, no, I don't like the taste of ranch. To be honest with you, it just gives it flavor, and I don't feel like it tastes like ranch dressing. So just so you know, I'm not a ranch salad dressing eater. But anyway, that is called Mississippi pot roast, and that is what we're having for dinner tonight. So it should be really good. Last night we had Chinese food. Um, my brother and Phil went to the shooting range, and on their way back, they cut through a town that has Chinese food. So what I usually do is I will ask everyone what they want when we decide that that's what we want to have for lunch. Because I knew, they would be probably hungry when they got back, because they usually come back around lunchtime. And so I said, we can make something here, or we can have some Chinese food. So they said that they would stop and pick up the Chinese food. And it always makes it easier if I just know what everyone's having. And then I can order it online and pay for it and everything. And then they just have to swing by and pick it up. So that's what we had for, well, lunch and dinner last night, because there just was so much. And as you can see, I showed earlier, I'm still eating it. As a matter of fact, I think it's time for a bite. So hold on one moment. So delicious. I'm just making sure that no one's asking me anything. No. So I will just keep on doing what I'm doing. I will just keep on keeping on over here. Yeah, before you guys, before I came on this afternoon, I was working on these little flower pots that I had showed you, um, and I couldn't get them to stay together because of the glue that I was using, and all I managed to do was get all this brown paint all over my hands, and so I was trying frantically to get this paint off of my hand, and because it seemed like the more I was squeezing this together, all I was doing, the glue wasn't holding, and all I was doing was smearing all this paint all over the place. It was, yeah, it was kind of frustrating because I was trying to get this together so that I can show you my idea, but I couldn't get these. For some reason, these little wood, and I'm guessing, I didn't hear anybody say anything otherwise. I do think that that's what these are used for, as little flower pots um, on like doll houses and things like that, maybe. But if they're meant for something else, I sure would like to know what they are. But to me, they look like flower pots. So, okay, so this is going to kind of skipping around here, but the little pot that I showed you earlier, it seems to be holding together better with this hot glue. This hot glue seems to be holding that together. So I think this is so cute. But I think that's what these are. They're flower pots. They come in two pieces. They come in these two pieces, but when you put them together, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. These are flower pots. That's what I'm going to use them for. You know what, Black Eagle? I also love blue cheese dressing. It's my favorite. It's what I grew up with eating, and I love it as well. I still love blue cheese dressing. And I think they also used to call it Roquefort or something like that. Does anybody else know what I'm talking about? But I believe that some restaurants would call it that, and I remember my grandparents calling it Roquefort or something like that. Yeah, blue cheese is my very, very favorite. And some brands are better than others. I've had some really disgusting blue cheese dressing, and then I've also had some that has been really, really good. And the chunkier, the better. I like it really chunky. Yeah, I like the salad dress, the blue cheese, to be really, really chunky blue cheese. Sorry, plug your ears if you're sensitive to noise. I'll give you a few seconds to plug your ears. Plug your ears, plug your ears, plug your ears. There's going to be a loud noise of rocks pouring into this plastic container. So plug your ears, plug your ears. Okay, that's it. Hope that wasn't too loud. Yeah, I used to buy the Bob's Big Boy brand. I don't even know if they make that anymore, but that one was one of my favorite blue cheese dressing, Bob's Big Boy brand. Also, Bob's Big Boy brand would make, and it's easy to make, and I've made my own, but they also have Thousand Island dressing, and there's Thousand Island dressing is also very delicious. You could put that on a salad, but it's also really good on a burger, on a hamburger. Very, very good and delicious. Something else that I grew up having. Thank you, Carrie. And how are you today, Carrie? Hope you're well, honey. And Carrie, I heard you last night talking somewhere, and I was going to send you a message. I just, when I hear you speaking to some people that, I don't know, that I don't feel has your best interest, I think, at heart, if I can say. And if you want me to not talk about this, I'll keep my mouth shut. But I'm not going to mention any names or anything unless you want me to. But I just, I'm not mad at you or anything. But it makes me mad because I feel like some people just don't have your best interest. And I think some people just are not that nice to you. And some people just aren't nice in general, you know? All they want to do is just, troll people and be mean to people. And there's just some people out there that's all they want to do. So. Yeah, so I don't know. I felt kind of bad listening. I didn't listen long, but I was going to send you a private message and tell you, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I don't know. I hate hearing people just not be nice to you. It bothers me, and it bothers me listening to people be not very nice to anybody, really, honestly, that I care about. I don't care for that very much. When I hear people that are being not very nice to people that I like and care about. And probably most people would feel that way, I would think. It's hard for them to listen, to people. And they don't know if they want to speak up or keep quiet about it. And a lot of times I'm quiet about these things, but I just want you to know that, and this goes for anybody out there, that if you're my friend and I care about you and I hear that sometimes I don't speak up, and maybe I should, and I apologize for that. But just know that if I am listening, that I probably am not liking that very much. I don't like my friends being disrespected and treated badly. Especially if they're not deserving of it, um, especially if a person isn't, didn't do anything to deserve that, or you're being used, for entertainment. And I think that happens a lot around here where people um, are used for entertainment. And sometimes some people, the people that are being used for entertainment, sometimes are not aware that that's what they're being used for. And that makes me really upset. There's a lot of people on YouTube that just are not genuine. But those of you that have been around a long time, and I also have been around a really, really long time. And so, those of you that have been around a long time too, I'm sure you know that there just are a lot of people on here that use people and use people for entertainment, and they're just not genuine. They're just not. No, there's no need at all for you to be sorry, Carrie. I don't want you to feel bad or anything like that. I'm definitely not upset with you at all. I just, as your friend, um, I feel, I feel just a certain way when I hear, you know, I don't know. I don't like it. I just don't like people that, are using people for entertainment, you know, for a good laugh. And, I don't think that's right to do that to people, you know, especially if you're being genuine and then you think that they are too, and then come to find out they're just not. Some people just are not able to be on here. Some people, that's not what they come here for. They don't come here to be, genuine people. They come here specifically to be trolls. And that is the truth. They have no interest at all of a friendship on here uh, or anything like that. Um, their main goal is to be a troll and troll people and giggle and laugh about it. And they also, those same people are not able to understand that there's people on here that have developed true, real friendships. It is possible. People fall in love on YouTube. Also, it's very possible. And those people that like to just come on here to troll, those are people usually are unable to understand how anyone can come on here and develop friendships or love or anything else. They just are unable to understand that. And they even laugh about it because they don't understand that that it's real, that it's true, that those things happen. I would like to think that there are several people on here that I have a really close connection to. There's a few. There's a few. You know, unfortunately, because of other things going on in my life, there are times where I may not be able to talk to you as much as I'd like to, and things like that. But I will tell you that I don't stab people in the back, or like I'd like to think that I don't. Um, I know there's a lot of people that don't like other people here, and I respect that. Um, and even though maybe you, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but even though you may not like a certain person, I am still able to separate friendships. I truly am. Um, I, you know, I know there's been people that have been treated certain ways, by people, and I'm aware of that. And I don't like everything that everybody does around here. I truly don't. But I like to think that, when I like somebody, that I really like them. Um, I don't talk about them behind their back and things like that. I don't do stuff like that with my friends. I, you know, um, but I do know that I've been friends with some people who aren't friends with other people. And that makes it difficult and hard. Um, but just because I may be friendly or friends with somebody else doesn't like, doesn't mean that I don't like you, or that I, have disrespected our friendship or anything like that. Um, I'm able to separate the two friendships. And unfortunately, it's just the way that it goes on YouTube, as in real life. There's people that just don't like other people. There's a lot of people on YouTube I don't care for. There's people on here that I tolerate, you know. And then there's people on here that I truly, truly, really care about. And, um, and that's just the way that it is on here and in real life. And um, and when I say real life, not that this isn't, real life. I realize you guys are all real people, but I guess I mean like in my personal life, people that I see, on a regular. Not everyone's going to get along. Hell, some families don't get along. you know, there's people in some families that don't get along, and I've been in that situation too, and that's hard to juggle. It's hard. That's hard to juggle that. Um, my brother, for instance, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, but my brother was married to somebody years ago who, off again and on again, I got along with. And then she, towards the end of their marriage, I really did not get along very well with her. And at one point, she got physical even with me and smacked me. I mean, she did. She smacked me in the back of the head while I was in a car with her. And so, so I'm telling you that even families, and don't get along. And so it's hard, you want to be loyal to your friends, you want to be loyal to, your family, but you know, I also am not going to dislike somebody just to dislike people. Um, and I've been in that situation before. But anyway, I would like to get along with everyone if I can, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I do realize that there are some people that just don't get along with other people, and that's okay. Because there's people on here that, I don't get along with either. There's some people on here that um, I really dislike, and I just try to stay away from those people. And then sometimes, in the rare occasion, you may have a situation with them, and where you are, well, you're not literally face to face with them, but you are YouTube face to face with them, and you may be put into a position where you could be up on a panel with them or in chat with them, and you could either stay and ignore them, I guess, or you can not ignore them and say things to them. And honestly, I've done both. I actually have done both, where I may fight with them or I may just ignore people. For the most part, I just try to ignore people. And I realize that some people can't do that. Some people can't ignore people that they don't like. Well, trust me, when my now ex-sister-in-law smacked me, and Phil knows this story, let's just say I wasn't driving. My mother's passed away now, but my mother was driving my car, and my sister-in-law at the time smacked me really hard, and I went over the seat, and her and I were fighting in the back seat while my mother was driving. And it's definitely not something that I'm proud of, but I also won't allow somebody to lay hands on me. So my poor mother was trying to drive and break up us fighting, and it was pretty intense. To say the least. It was pretty intense. But yeah, you don't lay hands on me and think that that's okay and get away with it, because that's just not going to happen. So, but I will say this: after that day that happened, she never spoke to me again after that. And that was fine with me, as I was done with her, because that's the first time that she had laid hands on me. But she had been verbal in, abusive, I guess, way to me before. But this is the first time that she actually, touched me, smacked me. Oh yeah, I have no problem physically defending myself. I have no problem at all. I will not allow that. Nobody should. You should not allow that. But yeah, it was pretty intense, and my poor mom. Oh, my poor mom. It was terrible. And what had happened was, so she got us to stop fighting, and then my sister-in-law, now ex-sister-in-law, she literally jumped out of the car while it was moving. And she jumped out of the car, and I was mad. And I told my mom, I said, I don't give a crap what happened. Probably I said shit. Okay, I told her I didn't give a shit what happened to her. I didn't care. I said, leave her, leave her. She could walk. I don't care, And we were way far away from where she lives, and she had left her car at my house. And so my mom was like, we can't leave her here. And so we went to where she was, and she was a smoker, and she was out in front of this convenience store smoking like a old chimney, one cigarette after another. And my mom was like, get in here, and so she hopped, she didn't get in that easily because she was still wanting to fight. And my mom said, get in here. So she got into the car. I was in the front seat. I had got, back into the front seat in the passenger seat. And there was a lot of, there were a lot of words being said between her and I. And I was like, basically, are you wanting round two with me? Because I'll, hop over this seat. If you want, come on, you want round two? And she didn't say anything much after that. And then when we got to my house, she barely let the car stop, and she was jumping out. And my dad was also living with me at the time. Both my parents were living with me at the time. And my dad heard all this commotion. And so like he had come out and, like, what's going on here, And she was trying to get away from me, from the situation so badly that like she went up over the grass and the curb and everything to get away, And, but I never saw her again or spoke to her again after that. But anyway, that's my story for the day, I guess. Story time. True story time. So, I don't even know what brought that up, me talking about that. But anyway, I just thought I would share that story. I don't think I've told anybody else but Phil about that, I think. I mean, obviously my parents knew, my brother knows, but I don't think I've ever told anybody else. Anyway, does this look silly on the top here? Does it look like a bunch of beans, or I don't know? I'm looking at it and I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is this? Obviously I'm not done. And I think in all these spots, I probably should have painted it, but I think I'm going to paint like this black probably in here or something probably. So it doesn't look as noticeable that that it's not painted underneath here. Yeah, you can ask Phil. I'm pretty feisty. I probably have calmed down, I think, a lot in my now getting older years, but I'm pretty feisty. I'm in real life, if you will, I would say I'm probably pretty mouthy. I can be pretty mouthy. I like the stones that are more flat because they're easier to put on here and lay on top of the other ones. They're a lot easier when they're flat, when they're more flat, when the backs of them are more flat like this one. Yes, exactly, Mommy Mars. Yeah, I have. Some people think that Lady Scrapper is because I'm a scrapbooker. No, Lady Scrapper as in fighter. Yeah, and I really don't put up with a lot of crap. But again, I think in my older years, I think I've um, mellowed, I guess. Sorry, just reading chat, you guys. So I don't know if I've asked this, but does anybody have any good plans for the weekend? Okay, well, that stone is not going to work there. It does not want to stick. Let's see. There's a little tiny one that I can put there. Almost looks like a little bean. See it? Looks like a little bean. Yes, on the hunt for jewelry jars. I wish we lived closer to each other, Evelyn, because you and I could go on the hunt for jewelry jars. How much fun would that be? That would be fun, going on the hunt for jewelry jars, right? Oh, a stationery store. How fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. Do you have a lot of stationery stores near you, Mommy Mars? Is it one that's like a chain that you're planning to go to? I love Daiso, and I wish we had a Daiso nearby. I did get to go to one when Phil and I went to Oklahoma last month, was it, or the month before? I don't remember now. month and a half or so ago, maybe. And when we went to Oklahoma, and I had so much fun. I like Daiso. I used to go quite a bit when I lived in California. So I'm hoping that I'll get to go again soon. I do like going to, I do enjoy going to that store. Trying to find a stone to fit right here. Maybe this one might fit. Oh, that one might fit. Okay, there's going to be a little noise. Noise alert. So this is what it looks like on the top. Obviously, it's not finished. And I know that probably looks kind of silly where you guys are at, but I laid all these stones on the top of this roof. And I'm going to probably get a black marker or paint and paint right here so it's not so, doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to just use a black marker or if I should use paint. It might be better to use a black marker as I'll have probably more control over a marker. I don't want to get paint all over these stones. And this one does not want to lay down. This one on the corner here. So I think I'm going to try it again. Let's see here. That is like the third time it has come off. So let's see. Really, your farmer's market has a stationery booth. Well, my goodness, I would definitely be hanging out there. Yeah, I love Daiso. I may have to go to Kansas City or something just so I can go to the Daiso store. I may have to do that soon. I may have to. Or I guess I can plan another trip to Oklahoma maybe. I'm not sure, but I do love. Now, I think when I lived in California, you used to be able to purchase online stuff from Daiso, and I don't think you could do that anymore. Or it could be wrong. It could definitely be wrong. I love these little flower pots that I'm making. I love how cute this is. It is extremely cute. So I need to finish painting the back of it. And again, I'm just using like a brown marker for now. But probably I may end up, I don't know. I may paint, but I have like paint markers too. And those work very well. But right now I'm just using an acid-free chocolate marker. And these are my, right here is the brand. I don't know if you can see that. These are made in Japan. You see these? Yeah, I've had these for quite a while, and these ones work very, very well. And sometimes I just like to use them like this. So instead of getting out some paint and painting these, I may just use markers. I may just use a marker to color these flower pots. Oops, I think the flowers came out. Huh. Yeah. I will probably have to glue the flowers down into this flower pot. The only thing is when you're holding this, you're probably going to get ink all over your fingers. And I probably should wear gloves, but I did not put any gloves on. But that's okay. That's what soap and water's for, right? But then again, I don't know. I may end up, if I'm going to be doing this to a lot of them, I might end up just putting some gloves on. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I have not decided yet at all. I'm wondering, I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way, you guys. Since I'm not going to be doing anything else to the top right now, probably tomorrow or later tonight, I may get a black marker and go into these areas here and color them in so it's not so noticeable that I did not paint the top of this. So for now, I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to be working on making my little flower pots. And I'm going to probably, I had stuffed some moss, this stuff here, down into here. You won't really see it very much, but it'll help hold the flowers, I guess, in. And I think what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue in here. And I think that'll probably help keep the flowers in the flower pot by putting some glue in here. I think that's probably a good idea. Then they probably won't come out, or they won't come out as easy. But also, they do need time to dry. They need some time to dry. The glue, that is. See? Cute little flower pot. See? Hi, Sweetweed. How are you? Nice to see you. Very nice to see you. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to put some gloves on because I'm getting this stuff all over my hands. And I already have some on my hands, some of this ink. But I'm thinking if I put some gloves on, I won't get any more of it on my hands. And that way this stuff will wash off easy. Easy peasy. I think that's probably better, so I don't get all that ink all over my hands. See, I had started off wearing gloves, but then earlier before I went live, and then I ended up taking them off. And then that's how I got all this brown ink all over my hands. Now, you guys that also like to use ink pens and markers and paints, do you guys prefer to use gloves, or do you guys just don't mind getting your hands dirty with paint or whatever it is that you're using? Just curious. So I think I'm going to go ahead and glue another one of these flower pots together. So Phil is going to be going and visiting his family today. Well, he's taking care of some stuff, and then also he will be visiting with his family a little bit. And so I'm happy for him doing that today. And his daughter is wanting to do some like coloring and things like that. And like, adult coloring book, do, colored pencils and things. So I have put together a bag of new colored pencils and a pencil box for her to put her colored pencils in, and also like 3 or 4 or maybe 4, or at least 4, there might be 5 coloring books for her. And one of them is really cool because it's actually thick chipboard that you color, and they are Christmas. You punch them. You can punch them out, and they're thick, like cardboard chipboard. And some of them are like tags for gifts. Some of them you could use them as Christmas ornaments. So I thought that would be maybe kind of fun for her. But anyway, so Phil will be taking her a gift from me. And that's what I am sending with him to give to her. So the last time he went, I had sent him with what I call a beauty bag for her. Makeup and hair products and bath products and things like that for her. Some new hair, like barrettes and things like that for her hair, and clips and things for her hair. And she really liked that, so. But I'm also hoping she'll come and visit us over here real soon. I always enjoy her visits. So. And she said that she really liked the little beauty bag that I put together for her of all the, the face masks and all of that kind of stuff. So usually us girls like all that kind of stuff. Me too. Me too included. Thank you, Evelyn. Yeah, I try to be kind. I mean, I know that she doesn't expect me always, but usually when he goes and sees his daughter, or when she comes over here, I usually like to have a little something for her. I seem to always have extra stuff, so it might be something that I specifically purchased for her, or it could be like I have extra stuff. And the last time I ended up having a bunch of unused extra like beauty products, and um, some things were stuff that because I have very sensitive skin, and some things I just wasn't able to use for myself, but it was nice being able to give them to somebody who could, use them. So, and she really appreciates it. So, and it makes you feel good, I think, or at least it does me. It makes me feel really, really good. I mean, yes, it's nice to get a gift, obviously. Yes, we all like to get things. But it also feels really good to give things to people, too. And that's the way it should be. You don't want to just always expect or want things, or I don't know if expect is the word for it, but you just, it feels good being the giver, I guess. And to me, I feel like it makes me feel just as good to give something as it does to get something. So I really enjoy giving things to people if I can. Even if it's just something small, it makes you feel good inside, to be able to do that. Or at least it should. It should make you feel really good to do that. Here's another little flower pot. Here's another cute little flower pot. I hope you guys can see that, what I'm doing here, making these cute little flower pots. Thank you, Mommy Mars. Yeah, I like Phil's daughter too. Or I should say, I love Phil's daughter too, as if she was my own daughter. So I do love her very much, and his son. I love them both. I truly do. Are you leaving, Phil? You're probably just going to go to get ready, I would imagine. And I will probably maybe get off of here too. That is possible that I may get off of here. Yeah, I may do that. I think I'm going to make one more flower pot. One more. I think I'm going to make one more flower pot. Okay, one more. These are so fun to make. I really enjoy making these. Let's see. I think I'm going to use my Faber-Castell, these big brush markers. See? I like this really pretty blue. It's like a turquoise. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Can you guys hear the noise that it's making while I'm doing this? It's probably relaxing. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. It's funny sometimes, I think, when I'm going, when I go live like this, because it's like you're sitting here. I mean, I realize you all are there, but you almost feel like you're sitting here talking to yourself. And I guess in a way you kind of are. Yeah. Sometimes I just think it feels kind of weird. Yeah, so I have been ordering a ton of stuff from Amazon. I have some new curtains for my bedroom coming, our bedroom. Some blackout curtains. The curtains that I have in there currently, I've not had them that long, but they are not blackout curtains. And it's been so hot that room, our bedroom, stays not as cool as I would really like. And it's because there's a big window, and I think that window is getting a lot of heat. It's getting a lot of heat coming through it. So it'll be nice with these blackout curtains that I ordered. So hopefully, I'm hoping that will help keep it a little bit cooler in there. So I'm looking forward to them coming in the next couple days. And then I also ordered us a ice maker, a countertop ice maker. I personally go through a ton of ice. I enjoy my water or whatever I'm drinking to be, I'm talking like hurt your teeth cold. I like it to be really, really cold, whatever I'm drinking. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I love cold, cold, cold. The colder, the better. I'm telling you, hurt your teeth cold. So, so we go through a lot of ice. We're always buying ice. Yes, we could make ice, but we usually just buy bags of ice, and we go through a ton of it. So we went through this before where we thought about, buying one of those countertop ice machines. And so I started looking at them again, and I went ahead and ordered one. So it will also be here in a couple days. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be nice to be able to have all the ice I want whenever I want. And Ghosty will also be happy because he loves ice. He loves ice cubes. So I will always make sure he has lots of ice now too. Ghosty is our dog. So anyway, here's another little flower pot, you guys. Isn't that cute? So now I've made 3 little flower pots. They are adorable. So see, here they are, and they're adorable. At least they are to me. They're adorable to me. Yeah, they're adorable to me. They're cute. So anyway, you guys, I think that is all that I am going to show for now. I may come back later today. I don't know. I may come back on a little bit later. But for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and go. And but I may be back a little bit later. Okay, so hi Nanya. Hi, how are you? So I hope everybody has a good day, but I may be back later. So look out for me. If you've not hit the subscribe button, please do so that you get notified when I go live. And I will talk to you guys all a little bit later, okay? See you guys soon. Thanks for coming by. Bye for now.